Hello, my name is Renee Lukowitz, a dance instructor and regional dance ambassador at Pods Dance Company. And today we're going over some basic stretching that you can do at home for everybody. So if you want to join me, scoot back, make sure you have a little bit of room. You don't need a whole lot of room, just whatever you have available. You can stand shoulder width apart or even deeper if you want, or wherever it's comfortable. We're just going to warm up our neck first. So we're going to start by looking to the right, center, left, center. Repeat. Good, and last time. Good, now eye gaze goes up, center, and down, center. Good, repeat. Good, last time. Good, now right ear to right shoulder. Without lifting your shoulders, keep them relaxed. Your ear probably won't touch. Center, and left ear to left shoulder, and back to center. 2 more times. Good, and last time to the right, and left. Good, now head roll starting to the right, down towards your chest, and left all the way up. Release that neck. 2 more times to the right, back to the left, up. Good, last time. You want to keep your upper body nice and still. This is just the neck. Now, over to the left side this time. Left ear to left shoulder, chin to chest, right ear to right shoulder, and up. Good, 2 more times. Excellent, and last time. Good, now that we got our neck warmed up, now we're going to take a wider stance, okay? This should be past shoulder width. You're going to turn your toes towards the right wall, or if you want to start on the left, you can turn your toes towards the left wall. It's important to remember that our hips are facing this left wall. So that means our toes, knees, and hips are all facing this side. Now, if you have a chair, go ahead and use that for assistance, and you can hold it out in front of you. Or if you're feeling up for it, go ahead and drop down. Now, anywhere in between here, on your chair, or all the way down. Whatever you prefer, go ahead and take it now. Now, starting with this right leg, we're going to plie just by bending it slightly, as you can see. Bend and straight. This left leg stays nice and straight the entire time. Palms are planted on the ground or on the chair, or on your quad or shin. We go 2 more times. 1. Now when we bend, we go 1, 2, hold, straighten 3, 4. Good. Now toes are going to point towards the camera this time. So just like we started, wide stance, toes pointing towards the center. You can move your chair to the front now to rest here, or here, or here. Now you're going to face the side because it's important to stick your butt out so your back is nice and straight if you're here or here. If you're all the way in that forward fold, go ahead and do so. You want to think about getting that belly button through your legs. I'm going to face this way. This time we're going to focus on a plie with the left leg. So I'm going to rest my weight in my right leg and bend the left. 1, 2, up, 3, 4. 2 more times. 1, 2, up, 3, 4. Now my nose is trying to get to my right knee, or it's resting here on the chair. 1, 2, up, 3, 4. Good, now come on up, legs come together. We're going to take a stretch over towards the right wall, opening your rib cage up, eye gaze goes up towards the ceiling. Good, now over to the left, My gaze goes up. One more time on the right. And back to the left. Good. That's a fun groovy move that I like to do. Great for stretching and opening that rib cage. All right, now legs come back out to that powerful widened stance. Our toes are going to point towards the left wall this time. Hips, knees, toes, all pointed. Okay, again, my arms can come here on my chair. They can rest on my quad, my shin, or on the ground. Again, this is for everyone, so choose a position that works for you. Flexibility comes in time, so it's okay if we add modifications. We aren't supposed to be in our splits the first time we stretch. So be patient with yourself and know that it's okay wherever you're at right now. That's why we're here today, is to practice and to get more flexible. So join me where you're comfortable. All right, now we're gonna play that left leg, keeping that right leg nice and straight. Feel it in your calf. 1, 2, and straight in 3, 4. Now, if you want to incorporate your breath is going to really help sit into these stretches. So when I bend, I'm going to breathe out. 1, 2, breathe in. 1, 2, release out. 3, 4. Good, one more time. Breathe in. 1, 2, and exhale. 3, 4. Good. Now our toes are going to come back towards the camera. Again, you want to move your chair here. That's totally fine. I am moving my imaginary chair. Okay, so chair's rested right here. Weight is in our left foot this time. We're going to plie the back foot. 1, 2. This is my right foot, sorry. Straight in 3, 4. So if you want to inhale, 1, 2, exhale, 3, 4. Good, last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Now we're gonna walk those feet in. I'm gonna turn to the side, but you face whatever direction. Then we're going to forward fold. Again, positioning here. Keeping that back nice and straight, here on our calves, on our ankles, or rested on the floor. Or if you have that chair, go ahead and bring it here and rest your elbows just right on that chair. Good, now we're going to plie here. Inhale, 1, 2. Heels can come off the ground. That's certainly okay. And exhale, 3, 4. Heels come down. Again. 1, 2, inhale, exhale, 3, 4. Last time, inhale, 1, 2, exhale, 3, 4. Good. You're gonna roll up nice and slow. Now we're going to sit on the floor. I'm going to use this block right here. This is a yoga block. You can get these at any sporting goods store. This is good to take some pressure off when you're sitting on the ground. But you don't need to use this if you don't want to. I'll show you with and without. So we're gonna sit down. I'm gonna sit right on that yoga block, and I'm going to press my heels together and drop my knees towards the ground. This is gonna take pressure off of your sit bones and your lower back by sitting on the block. But if you are comfortable without it, go ahead and sit just on the ground. You want to engage your back, squeeze those shoulder blades so you have a nice straight back. Good. So we're going to hold this here, either sitting on our block or on the ground. You can also bring out a mat if that's more comfortable too. If you don't have a block, you can sit on a pillow. Whatever works for you and whatever you have available at home. Now we're going to do a little bend to the side. This is my right side. You want to focus on pushing that left leg down towards the ground. and switch. This time we're gonna press our left or right leg into the ground. Switch over, left leg goes down. And one more time, right leg. Good. Now if you're feeling up for it, push those knees down towards the ground. Ideally we want them to be touching the ground, but it's okay if they're up here. Again, we're all starting where we're comfortable, so go ahead and push them down. The longer you hold this stretch, the more you'll feel it. So if you need to sit in this stretch more, go ahead and pause the video and pick up with us later. Remember to continue breathing even though we don't have the act of the bend and straighten like we did last time. You can still maintain that breath while keeping a nice flat back. Good. Eye gaze can go out in front or up towards me, whatever you're comfortable with. Now, if you want to stay on your block, you can stay on the block or you can join me on the floor here. We're gonna flex our feet. Arms come up. This is going to activate our back so it's nice and straight. I'm squeezing my shoulder blades and I'm going to fold over. I'm gonna flex my feet and pull my elbows to the ground. Now, I'm gonna turn to the side here so you can see it just a little bit better. Now I can, while maintaining a flat back, my arms can rest here on my quads. They can go further onto my shins, even my ankles, or my toes. Wherever you're at, you're gonna pull those elbows towards the ground. That's gonna bring your chest towards you. So if I'm here on my shins, pulling those elbows, or my ankles, my elbows come down, or my feet, elbows come down. I have a slight bend in the knee, but not a lot. You don't want them up here, just a slight bend to take some pressure off. Keeping that back nice and straight. Good, now we're going to point those toes and we're gonna round our back this time. Nose goes to knees. Again, our arms can rest here, out to the side, or on our shins, on our ankles. Mine are just gonna be out to the side here, and I'm gonna round my back and think about my nose diving into my knees. Again, a slight bend is okay, but not a lot. Point those toes really, really hard. Last time we flexed them, now we're pointing them. We're getting a different stretch here. Good, remember that breath. Wonderful, roll on up. Now we're gonna go into pigeon. So right leg is going to come out in front, left leg is gonna be nice and straight behind me. Now, the idea with this stretch is this right leg, the closer your foot is in towards your hip, the less of a stretch you'll feel. So the more you pull that out to 90, the more of a stretch you'll feel. I like to keep it right in the middle because then it allows you to push that left hip into the ground just a little bit more. We're gonna keep our toes nice and pointed here, back leg nice and straight. Really push that left hip into the ground. Now if you want, you can drop your elbows onto the ground for a deeper stretch, or you can stay up here, taking pressure off by pulling that leg in, whatever you're comfortable with. Now we're going to bring this left leg in and extend the right leg. Okay, so the further I stretch this leg out, the more of a stretch I feel. The closer I bring it towards my butt, the less of a stretch I'll feel. Okay? So you want to keep this right foot nice and straight and pointed. You're going to just bring your chest towards your knees by resting those hands and squaring that foot. Or you can stay up here. Make sure you keep that back nice and straight. Again, wherever you're at is perfectly fine. If you want to release that head and drop it towards your knee. And hang out here for a little bit. Good, this should feel nice and good along those hamstrings. Opening up those hips as well. And now we're going to bring our weight back towards or behind us. So from the side, it looks like this. Now, the more I walk my hands back, the more of a stretch I'll feel. I can even drop down to my elbows or down to my shoulders. I only should do this if I can keep this left knee on the ground. So, wherever you're comfortable, go ahead and take it now. We'll sit here for just a little bit. I'm gonna change my direction so you can see it. I'm gonna sit right here in the middle. I get a nice shoulder stretch as well. Keeping my toes nice and pointed, breathing through this entire stretch. You're gonna feel it along here. Getting those quads nice and warmed up. Good, now come on up. We're gonna switch to the left side. Left leg is at 90 this time, or anywhere in between, and right leg is nice and straight, pointed. Okay. So again, the closer my foot is to the less of a stretch, the more I pull this foot out to 90, the more of a stretch I'll feel. So I like to keep it nice and in between so I can press that right hip into the ground. Now, if this is too much to press that hip, go ahead and just sit where you're comfortable or where your hips allow, or take it down for even more of a stretch. Shifting that weight so you'll manually have to press that hip into the ground. Wherever you're at, go ahead and do it. Good, now I'm gonna bend my right leg, straighten my left. Again, the wider this goes, the more of a stretch I'll feel, but it's okay if it's tucked just like that. Totally fine. We're gonna bring our ankles forward towards our left knee this time, framing that foot, pointing that toe, and breathing. Breath is such an important part of stretching. It allows us to get deeper into stretches and feel more comfortable in stretches. So the longer we can hold these stretches and the more we breathe, the more flexible we can get in a shorter amount of time. Now, if you take 15 minutes out of your day just to stretch, you'll make small progress every day. If not, 3 to 4 times a week will do just fine. Whatever works with your schedule, you can even condense this to 10 minutes. I suggest 15 for a nice, slow, and controlled stretch. Good, now we're gonna bring that weight back, either on your hands, elbows, or shoulders. Remember, we don't want this right knee to point up, we want it pointed towards the camera. Point that left foot, keeping it nice and straight. Good. And come on up. Now we're gonna lay on our backs. Good. I'm sure I'm not cut off here. My feet might be a little cut off, but that's okay. We're gonna bring our right leg up towards our chest. Hug it in. Try and get it as close as we can to our chest. It's okay if it's here. Good, now twist it over towards the left wall, keeping our shoulders pressed on the ground. Right arm comes straight out. Point that toe, keeping the left leg really straight. We don't want to bend it up. We want to keep it nice and straight. Now, if this is too much, come back here. As long as you keep those shoulders on the ground, you choose where you're comfortable. Good, now switch to the left side. This time, my left knee comes up towards my chest and my right leg is super duper straight and pointed. You know, we're missing hugs these days and interactions, so we can give ourselves a big hug right now. I don't think any of us hug ourselves enough, so give yourself a big hug. Remind yourself that your body can do amazing things, and thank it today for being healthy and happy and for joining us today. Good, pass it over towards the right wall, keeping that left shoulder planted and straight. Remember to breathe. Good, all right. Go ahead and roll on up. Good, so any of those stretches you can hold for however long you would like, as long as you keep it consistent with how long you hold each stretch. Again, I recommend about 15 minutes a day to stretch 3 to 4 times a week or every day if you have time. A little bit goes a long way, and remember to be patient with yourself. Flexibility is a process, so be patient and know that you're doing all the right things. So thank you for joining me for our basic stretching that everybody can do. I enjoyed teaching you today, and I'm so glad that you made an effort to join us today. My name is Renee Lukowitz with Pods Dance Company. Go ahead and check out our website if you liked what you saw today. Comment, like, share this video, tell your friends about us. Anything helps. So thanks for joining me. I'll see you later.